Catherine Bearder, please. Catherine.
Well, thank you very much, and I'd like to add my thanks to all the panellists who've come today and to members of the steering committee that we've heard from. It's been 587 days since the UK voted to leave, and every single one of those days has been excruciating for the Brexit citizens. UK citizens living in the EU have been called citizens of nowhere by their own Prime Minister, who also denies people who've been living outside the UK for more than 15 years that right to vote in the UK. So, I mean, we have a government who is already not appreciating the situation sufficiently. And also, I think it's worth noting that I know what you're saying about Thursday afternoons being difficult for MEPs, but many of us have managed to be here because it's important. We are elected by citizens. We represent citizens in this chamber. There has been no Conservative or UKIP MEP attending here. Now, they may be listening in, but that is not contributing to the debate, and I think we should call them out. I think that's a real shame on their part. So it's without a doubt in my mind that EU citizens in the UK are still feeling vulnerable, and we hear that. And that goes for Brits also living on the mainland UK. And the citizens are counting on this House to protect them. We are their representatives. But so there are a number of outstanding issues. But for me, we must make sure that the red lines tell the negotiators and the British government that we will not sign off this deal unless the outstanding issues are fixed. These must be clear and unambiguous. Fudge is not acceptable. We've already got a deal of fudge on the Northern Ireland issue in December. We have to have legal certainty. Businesses need it. Human beings need it in order to make decisions about their lives. And this is not about the Parliament being difficult. This is our job. It's about defending rights and making sure that those rights are enforceable in both sides of the debate. I have a question to the legal representatives we've had. The transition guidelines state the UK must adopt the whole acquis, and I think that's fair enough, in the of the EU laws and policies. So would it be legal for the UK now to introduce a registration system, which we could have done years ago, for EU citizens in the UK? So it's a legal point. And I would like to, that extending the ECJ oversight beyond the proposed 5 years and the clarity of the role of the proposed independent national authority so that the withdrawal agreement is properly implemented and that right cannot be reduced by future governments. It's all very well the Conservative government signing up, but we have to have this absolutely watertight that future governments can't do that. I have a couple of more points. The new status of EU citizens in the UK must be a declaratory registration system confirming existing rights, and that is something I think we as MEPs need to be firm on. And that the application must be simple, digitally based, and importantly, it has to be free. Citizenship does not depend on your ability to buy it. And we also must ensure coverage of groups who cannot fill out that digital application because they physically can't, or they have poor language skills, or that they are excluded because they're not working or have caring responsibilities bringing up children. So that's the women's issue that we have. Finally, the right to family reunification must include future partners or spouses. Leaving future partners out of the scope of the withdrawal agreement disproportionately impacts the younger generations, as well as citizens who, following a divorce or a death of their spouse, may wish to remarry after Brexit. These are really important points that MEPs must really hold the Brexit negotiators, our own government in the UK, and the Brexit committee here. So thank you very much for allowing me time to speak.
Thank you very much.